Hi, this is Michael Rony Mullick, and you are watching the Post Market Show. Today is the 17th of May, and let us look into what happened in the markets today and what we can expect from the markets going into trade tomorrow. Well, after many days, we finally saw the markets being painted in green across board. So that is definitely has brought a smile to many people's face. Seeing Nifty rally in that fashion, which we have never seen in the last 2 months. So this kind of rally was last happened in the month of March, and after that today we see Nifty almost moving almost up by 420 points from the day's low. So that is something to look into. We will be getting into the Nifty and how it traded today after many days. Also, all the sectoral indexes ended in green. All the 10 sectors ended in green. But the only disappointment of the day was the LIC IPO listing. So it got finally listed, but again it traded at a discount as we were expecting. So with all those news, we shall be looking into more details. So let us start by analyzing the charts of Nifty and seeing what has happened, what transpired for the entire day. So keeping an eye on the Nifty charts, first the daily time frame, you can see that the markets have shown a big green candle after many days. It opened with a slight gap up and then it was completely green, almost ending the day at the day's high. So if we look at the 5-minute chart, things will be a bit more clearer. So the markets opened with a slight gap up, and then around 10 o'clock there was some resistance taken around 15,970 levels, but from there the market broke out firmly and then there was no looking back. Now, why is such a rally, and what happened after 10 p.m? So to know that answer, you have to look into the charts of Reliance. So Reliance industry charts, a 5-minute chart, you can see that from 10 o'clock the Reliance shares shot up. In three red candles, it shot up from 2472 to almost 2492, almost 20 rupee jump in just a matter of 15 minutes, and that started a huge short covering rally in the Nifty, propelling the markets even higher. And so a lot of people who have sold their Nifty, short selling Nifty, or maybe running a lot of call options or buying a lot of put options, feeling that the market would be it's a sell on rise market, they got hugely trapped today as the market did not look back towards falling below 16,000 for the entire day. So Reliance Industries is the main reason, and as you know, Reliance Industry is one of the most highest weightage stocks in Nifty 50 index, and when that moves up, the Nifty has to move up, and especially when it was oversold. Just a few days back the results were announced, it was almost at an all-time high. Reliance Industries, from 2800 it fell to 2400. So now the stock is picking up pace, which is something good. So if you look at the sectoral indexes, finally after many days, if we look at the Reliance contributing almost 80 points towards Nifty's rally, which is the highest, followed by ICICI Bank, Infosys, ITC, TCS, L&T. So all of the most of the major index heavyweights have all ended up firmly in the green. So that is something why the markets have moved up so much, and also owing to the short covering rally. So this was about the major developments in Nifty and why it shot up. Talking about the sectoral indexes, like I told you that most of the sectors, not most, all of the sectors ended in the green after many days. So if you look at the charts of Nifty IT, and Nifty IT, will look into Nifty IT, but before that, Nifty metals, if you look at the chart, so after many days the Nifty IT has broken out, and it is up by 6.86% for the day. So when a index moves up this much, you can expect all around all the stocks in it to move up. So we have Coal India up by 7.4%, Hindalco up by 9.5%, Tata Steel, the favorite stock among the metal index, is up by 7.72%. So this is the metal index, and as we spoke of Reliance shot up because of the crude oil prices, which are going higher and higher in the global markets. it is almost at $114 per barrel right now. So India being a crude importing country, it is obviously negative for the economy, but Reliance, since it deals with crude, when the crude oil prices shoot up, it is actually good for Reliance, and that caused the stock to rally so much, owing to the rise in crude oil prices in the global markets. So this is what happened in the Reliance. And talking about LIC IPO was again a disappointment. So in a day, and such a beautiful day in the markets, LIC IPO is the only thing which has underperformed. It is down by almost 8%. So it tried to move up in the morning to touch the IPO price. So if I can show you the charts, let me pull up the charts of LIC, and you can see that for the LIC chart. So you can see that the markets opened at around 862 levels. From there, it tried to move up in the first 5-minute candle. It tried to move up towards the IPO price, but then again it got stuck at 918 rupees, and from there the share continued to fall downwards and ended almost flat, ending the day at 873 rupees. So this is how the LIC has performed today. So talking about LIC, it is, again, I've told in the previous videos that it is a fundamentally strong stock, and since it's a PSU sector stock, we can expect high dividend yield from LIC. And also the government has diluted around 3 to 5% stake in LIC, which means if the government needs more money, it will be looking to dilute more shares of LIC, and when it does, obviously the government will be looking to sell it at a higher valuation. So there could be some artificial pumping of the LIC shares in the coming days. So that is something to keep in mind, especially because the BPCL disinvestment was cancelled by the government. It is not going private as expected. So the focus will be on Reliance, and it can be a huge revenue generating source for the government of India if they look to further dilute the shares through FPO process. So this is Reliance. This is the LIC IPO and the details. So if you want to invest, you can look into buying a few quantities of LIC, and then if it falls further, you can buy more, keeping in mind the long-term horizon, obviously. Talking about more important news of the day, we have Tata Power, which is up by 6% after a news broke out that it is partnering with Hyundai Motors India to set up EV charging stations across the nation. So that is something good, and the share shot up 6%. Talking about the energy sector, the energy sectors shot up today as well. We have the IEX, which is up, and also JSW Energy is up by 8%. Talking about NIFTY Auto, it is again auto is up, and Tata Motors is the best performer, up by 4.64% today. This is the NIFTY Auto. And talking about NIFTY IT, which I told you that I'll be coming and showing you the charts of NIFTY IT. So let me quickly pull up the charts of NIFTY IT, and you can see that NIFTY IT. Let me show the charts, and let me choose the time frame to daily basis. Yes, on the daily charts of NIFTY IT, you can see that a firm green candle being formed. So this kind of green candle was only formed on during March. So again, we had a major gap down, and from there the stock continuously fell. So it is good to see that the IT index is moving up with such a strength, and hopefully this low of 29,200 to 300 level will be the low for the coming weeks and months. So this is, again, the reason is the Nasdaq was hammered in the US markets. Nasdaq is an index, is a tech heavy index, and all the US tech stocks were at an oversold region, and that bearishness also creeped down to the Indian tech stocks as well. But finally we are seeing some kind of a strong rally in the NIFTY IT index after many days. So that is something to keep in mind. And talking about the important data that was announced today, as I told in the morning video, that today was the day where the wholesale price inflation would be announced, and it was announced. So it came out to be around 15.08%. So this is the WPI inflation data, it was released around 12 p.m. It is at 15%. As per expectation, it was higher than that. It was expected to come around 14.48%, but it came out almost 0.5% higher than that. So we are seeing that the inflation data is again on a high. So this is nothing surprising, and the markets did not react because maybe the CPI data, which was announced last week, the markets had already reacted to that data. That is why we did not see any further knee-jerk reaction from that. And talking about Bitcoin ended its 7-week losing streak in its history. First time, the continuously 7 weeks it was down, and finally it has broken that, and it's recovering from that. So even the bearishness was seen in the crypto assets as well. So it is now recovering along with the other asset classes globally. So that is something to keep in mind. Now we talk about the OI activities of the day. So OI activity, but before that, let's talk about the FII DII activity. So as you can see, the FII continue to sell the markets, selling almost 2200 crore, and DII matching or the selling figures by buying almost 2300 crore. So this is the FII DII activity. And now the all important OI analysis. So if you look into the OI data, you can see what we call is a major short covering rally. So you can see that even in the morning we were seeing that the calls were heavily written across from 15,900, 16,000, 16,100, 200, 300 level all the way to 16,500 levels. But then when the markets broke out from right after 10 a.m. in the morning, we see huge amounts of put being written, and people have come out with the calls, which is indicated by the green candles. You can see it is negative. People came out from the calls they had sold at 16,000 levels, 16,100 levels, and instead they to cover their losses they sold put options in huge quantities. So now we can see a huge amount of put being built up from 15,500 towards 16,000. And interesting to see, even 16,100 and 16,200 has also huge amounts of put buildups. So this indicates the market can move up even higher in the coming days. And if there is a bad news, the markets now have a buffer towards the end, which means the markets can take support near the 16,000 level, which is very important. And if that is broken, we have 15,750 as the next support for other markets. On the upside, we see for this expiry, this is the 19th of May expiry, the highest number of calls still are being written at 16,500. Although there was no addition in the call over there, but we can see 16,600 calls being written slightly today. So this is the range. So you can expect the markets to trade between 16,000 to 16,500 in this week. Talking about the max spin, it is at 16,100, and PCR after many days it is more than 1. So it indicates that more puts are being written than calls, which indicates more bullishness in the market. So that is something to keep in mind. So this is what we call is a pure short covering rally. People who had sold this call options or they had bought put options, they panicked, they closed their positions, and that has propelled the markets even higher. So this is the classic example of short covering. So when the people are feeling bearish, what happens? They write call options or they buy put options, and when the view goes against them, they have to square off. Means they have to buy an opposite order, which is by placing a buy order, and that makes the markets move even higher and higher, and that is exactly what happened. The markets closed almost towards 16,300 today, making a total move of more than 400 points in Nifty. So so talking about the upside, I told you 16,500 is something to keep in mind, and if that is broken on the upside, 16,800 would be acting as the next major resistance, because the 200-day moving average is at 16,800 level. So this is about Nifty. And talking about Bank Nifty, the important resistance level is at 34,800. So Bank Nifty has also followed the cue of Nifty, and it has also traded well in the green today, ending almost 2.1% up by 700 points. It is trading at, it closed at 34,300, and we have seen that in the daily candles. If you look at it, 34,800 was the immediate major resistance level, which I told you, and if that is broken, we can expect the gap being filled, and Nifty, Bank Nifty trying to take a resistance at 35,000. So this is what the things look like right now. And talking about another important stock is the Bharti Airtel. It is up by 2%. Now, why is it important? So Bharti Airtel announced its results today after market hours, and we see that the profits are up by 164% year on year, indicating a profit of more than 2,000 crores. And one more interesting thing is the average revenue per user, or ARPU, is at rupees 178, which is the industry leading figures. So that is something really good and in the telecom industry. So hopefully the stock will rally tomorrow given the positive sentiments across. So that is something to keep in mind if you are planning to trade tomorrow in Reliance. You can keep this data in mind. And talking about the VIX, so the VIX has come down after many days. So let me pull up the chart of India VIX and US VIX. So you can see that the India VIX is now at 22.7, down by 7%. And US market, it's currently open right now. The US market VIX has also down by almost 6%. So this is something good. Both VIX is coming down, which indicates the volatility to reduce in the coming days. And hopefully the markets can rally from here. So this is the VIX. So let us look at how the things are trading right now in the US market. So first let us look at the S&P 500. It is up. Again, we can see a gap up, and it is moving continuously up. It is up by 1.6%. Nasdaq up by 2%. Dow Jones is also up by 1%. So this indicates the market may have bottomed out and it is rallying further. And the same sentiments is across the German index, the UK index, all are trading firmly in the green after many days. And talking about the USD INR, on the daily charts, you can see that the USD INR has finally come down a bit. So that is also something good for the Indian economy. And the crude oil prices, it is trading around $113, $114. So that is helping the Reliance to trade with a strong sentiment. That is what we had seen today as well. So this is something to look into. So this is the USD INR, the US markets we have discussed. And finally, let's look at the SGX Nifty, what it shows. So SGX Nifty is showing a little bit of bearishness right now. It is very slight, 0.2% down. It is trading at 16,233 levels right now. So let's see where the US markets end today, and from there we will see some more and how the Asian markets open. And before that, one more important news that is important for the day is that at 11:30 p.m. it's already 11:40 right now. The Fed Chairman Powell's speech is there, so we have to keenly watch what he says, because his speech can have the outlook for the economy in the coming days. If they look to increase the inflation, the interest rate to curb the inflation or not, and by how much will they increase the inflation, the interest rate is something to be keep in mind. So this is so with this we shall return for the morning show. So tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. we will be discussing what happened in the US market and what did the Fed chairman say in his speech, and with that what we can expect in the coming days. So with that update, we will join in tomorrow's morning at 8:30 a.m. See you there for the pre-market show, and have a good night. Thank you for watching.